A 63-year-old man walked into a coffee shop last month, and within seconds, three women in their 40s turned to look at him. Not because he was famous, not because he was loud, but because of something specific about the way he moved, stood, and existed in that space. And what I'm about to share with you might challenge everything you've been told about aging and attraction. Because what those women noticed wasn't random. It was deeply psychological, almost automatic, and incredibly powerful. Hi, I'm Olivia, and welcome back to Psychology Secrets with Olivia, where we explore the hidden layers of attraction, connection, and human behavior in a way that actually helps you understand what's really going on beneath the surface. Now, let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like, as time passes, attraction becomes harder? Like, maybe the world only celebrates youth and everything else fades into the background? If you've ever felt that way, you're not alone. But here's the truth most people never tell you. Attraction doesn't disappear with age. It evolves. And in many cases, it actually becomes more refined, more intentional, and yes, even more powerful. And today, I'm going to walk you through something incredibly fascinating. 5 specific body signals that women instinctively notice in men over 60. Not in a superficial way, but in a deep, psychological, almost subconscious way. Because women aren't just looking, they're reading. They're reading energy. They're reading presence. They're reading how a man moves through the world. And once you understand what they're really paying attention to, everything changes. So if you're here to truly understand female psychology, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, and stay with me till the end. Because the 4th point especially, most men completely ignore it, and it silently destroys their attractiveness. Let's begin. The first thing women notice, often without even realizing it, is your hands. Yes, your hands. Now, I know what you're thinking. Really? Out of everything, hands? But let me explain why this is so powerful. Hands are constantly visible, they're active, they're expressive, and more importantly, they tell a story. A woman doesn't just see your hands, she interprets them. Are they taken care of? Are they calm or restless? Do they move with intention or nervous energy? All of this is processed in seconds. I once spoke to a woman in her early 50s who described meeting a man at a dinner gathering. She said, "I didn't notice his face first. I noticed how he held his glass, steady, relaxed, like nothing about him was rushed. That one detail made her feel safe." And that's the key word here, because psychologically, hands signal how you interact with the world. Clean, maintained hands suggest awareness and self-respect. Calm movements suggest confidence. Slight roughness suggests experience, capability, a life actually lived. And here's something important. This isn't about perfection. Women are not expecting model-like hands. They're looking for signs of intentionality. Do you care enough about yourself to take care of the basics? Because if you do, it reflects in everything else. Now here's a simple exercise for you. Next time you're talking to someone, slow your hand movements down. Be deliberate. Let your gestures match your words instead of rushing ahead of them. You'll instantly feel more grounded and more in control. And trust me, she'll feel it too. Now, the second thing women notice, and this one surprises almost every man I've ever told, your forearms. Yes, forearms. And before you dismiss this, stay with me, because there's a reason this matters far more than you think. Forearms are one of the few parts of the body that are naturally revealed in everyday life. When you roll up your sleeves, when you reach for something, when you sit across from someone at a table, they appear subtly, naturally, without effort, and that's what makes them powerful. Psychologically, these small, unintentional glimpses are what we call micro-exposures. They create intrigue. They reveal without trying, and women are incredibly sensitive to these moments. Now let's talk about what they're actually reading. Forearms signal capability. Not in a loud, showy way, but in a grounded, real-world way. They suggest that you can do things. Build, fix, handle, control. I remember a story from a woman in her mid-50s who hired a contractor to fix her kitchen cabinets. She described him as completely average until he rolled up his sleeves. And suddenly, something shifted. She said, "I don't know why, but I just kept noticing his arms, the way they moved, the way they looked like they had actually worked." And that's the magic. It's not about gym muscles. It's about functional strength, real strength, the kind that comes from doing, not posing. So here's what you can do. You don't need a transformation. Just stay active. Use your hands, lift things, engage your body in real life. And most importantly, don't hide it. Stop covering up constantly. Let natural moments reveal you, because attraction often lives in what is subtly seen, not what is loudly shown. Now, let's go deeper, because the third thing women notice moves beyond the physical. It's your eyes, but not in the way you think. It's not about color. It's not about shape. It's about presence. When a woman looks into your eyes, she's asking one unconscious question. Is he really here? With me? And this is where most men fail, not because they don't care, but because they're distracted, thinking about what to say next, thinking about how they're being perceived, thinking about everything except the moment. And women can feel that instantly. Eye contact isn't just visual, it's emotional. It communicates attention, respect, interest, connection. I once spoke to a woman who met her partner when she was 58. She said something that stayed with me. I don't even remember his eye color, but I remember how it felt when he looked at me, like I mattered. That's powerful, because that feeling, that's what creates attraction. Now here's something fascinating. Lines around the eyes, what many people call aging signs, actually increase perceived warmth and trust. Why? Because they signal real emotion. A life of laughing, smiling, feeling, and when those lines are paired with genuine eye contact, it becomes incredibly attractive. So here's a simple practice. Next time you're in conversation, pause. Listen fully. Look at the person, not through them. Let your eyes respond naturally, because presence cannot be faked. And when it's real, it's magnetic. Now, we're about to move into something that might completely change how you see yourself. This next one, it's the most ignored, yet the most powerful. And once you understand it, you'll never overlook it again. Now, let's talk about the one thing most men slowly stop paying attention to, without even realizing it: your posture and your shoulders. This is where everything changes, because before a woman hears your voice, before she notices your face, before any conversation even begins, she sees how you carry yourself. And in less than 2 seconds, her mind has already formed an impression, not consciously, but instinctively. Is he confident or unsure? Is he energized or withdrawn? Is he someone who leads or someone who fades into the background? All of that comes from posture. I want you to imagine two men walking into the same room, same age, same height, same clothes, but one walks in with slightly hunched shoulders, head tilted down, steps uncertain. The other walks in with his shoulders relaxed but open, chest naturally lifted, movement steady and grounded. Now be honest. Which one feels more attractive? This isn't about judgment, it's about energy. Because posture is physical proof of your internal state. When your shoulders roll forward, your body is literally closing itself off. It signals protection, hesitation, retreat. But when your posture opens up, you signal presence, confidence, readiness. And here's something very important. This has nothing to do with arrogance. Confident posture is not about trying to impress anyone. It's about being comfortable in your own space. And women feel that instantly. There was a woman in her 60s who once told me about a reunion she attended. She said two men from her past walked in around the same time. One looked down, shuffled slightly, avoided eye contact. The other, he walked in calmly, shoulders back, not stiff, not exaggerated, just present. She said, "I didn't even think about it. I just noticed him." That's the power of posture. It doesn't demand attention. It attracts it. Now here's the good news. This is one of the easiest things to improve and one of the most impactful. Try this simple adjustment right now. Sit or stand. Gently roll your shoulders back, not forcefully, just enough to open your chest. Lift your chin slightly so your gaze is level. Not up, not down. Take a slow breath. That's it. That small shift, it already changes how you feel, and more importantly, how you're perceived. If you want to go deeper, strengthen your upper back, stretch your chest, become aware of how you sit, stand, and walk throughout the day. Because posture is not something you turn on, it's something you become. And when you do, people don't just see you differently, they feel you differently. Now, we move into the final piece, and this one brings everything together: your mouth, and more specifically, how it moves. Now, I want you to really pay attention here, Because this is subtle, but incredibly powerful. When a woman is talking to you, she's not just listening to your words, she's watching how those words are formed, your lips, your expressions, your pauses, your smile, all of it. Because the mouth is deeply connected to both communication and intimacy. It's where thoughts become sound, it's where emotion becomes visible, and women read it more than you realize. Let's break this down. First, your smile. Is it real or forced? Does it appear naturally, or does it feel like something you're putting on? A genuine smile is one of the most attractive signals any human can give because it reflects authenticity. It reaches the eyes, it softens the face, it creates warmth, and women are incredibly good at detecting whether it's real or not. Now, second, clarity of speech. Do you speak in a rushed, uncertain way, or do you speak with calm clarity and intention? Because how you speak communicates confidence far more than what you say. I once spoke to a speech specialist who explained something fascinating. She said, people don't just hear confidence, they see it. The way your mouth moves when you speak, slow, clear, intentional, creates a sense of trust. It shows that you're thinking, that you're present, that you're not trying to impress, you're simply expressing. And that's incredibly attractive. Now, third, care. This is practical but important. Oral hygiene, fresh breath, clean teeth, basic maintenance. This isn't about perfection, it's about respect for yourself and for others. Because neglect in this area, it's noticed immediately, and it creates distance instantly. But when everything is in place, your smile becomes inviting, your speech becomes engaging, your presence becomes comfortable, and that's what builds connection. I remember a woman once describing her partner's smile. She said, "It wasn't perfect, but it felt honest, and that's what made it beautiful." And that's the truth. Attraction is not about flawlessness, it's about realness. Now, let's bring all of this together, because what we've talked about today isn't just 5 random body parts. It's a system, a language, a silent conversation that happens before words ever do. Your hands, your forearms, your eyes, your posture, your mouth. These are not just physical features, they are signals. They tell a story about how you live, how you think, how you feel, how you show up in the world. And women, they read that story instantly. Not because they're judging you, but because they're trying to understand you, to feel you, to sense whether there is something real, something grounded, something worth connecting with. And here's the most important part of all. None of this requires perfection. None of this requires you to become someone else. It simply requires awareness, small adjustments, presence, care. Because attraction at this stage of life isn't about trying to compete with youth. It's about embodying something deeper, something calmer, stronger, more real. And when you do that, you don't just become attractive, you become memorable. So here's what I want you to do. Pick just one of these areas today. Just one. Maybe it's your posture, maybe it's your eye contact, maybe it's slowing down your speech, and start there. Because small changes, done consistently, create powerful transformations. And if something in this video made you pause, made you think, or made you see yourself differently, take a moment right now, hit that like button, and in the comments, tell me which of these 5 surprised you the most. I read your comments, I truly do, and I love seeing how these insights start to shift the way you experience connection. And if you want to go even deeper into understanding female psychology, attraction, and emotional connection, make sure you subscribe to Psychology Secrets with Olivia. Because what you're learning here, most people never even realize exists. And one more thing, everything we talked about today explains what women see, but attraction doesn't stop there. Because what truly creates desire is what she feels when she's close to you, when you touch, when you hug, when your presence becomes physical. And that's a completely different level of psychology. So if you're ready to understand that side of attraction, there's another video waiting for you. Go watch it. Because once you combine what she sees with what she feels, that's when connection becomes unforgettable. I'll see you there.